Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. My name is Pompberry, and yes, I am aware that I look absolutely insane right now, and that's because I've gone ahead and covered up my eyebrows, and I'm wearing huge circle lenses. But anyway, today's look, well, you already know from the title, but today's look is going to be inspired by my current obsession. Thanks to this little thing. Yes, it is Animal Crossing, because that's what the whole world is doing right now. And that was the one thing that I could think of when I was trying to come up with a makeup look for this week. So today I'm going to be doing Leif from the Nature Day event happening right now. It goes on till the 4th of May, and it's kind of like an Earth Day celebration type of thing. All I know is that Leif comes to town selling his wares, and everyone wants the bushes. Everyone's going crazy about the bushes, and I'm not even going to make it "that's what she said" joke because that would be too easy. If you're into Animal Crossing, then you should join us on my Discord channel. It's linked down below. There we have a whole section dedicated just to Animal Crossing. We share our nip prices, our shop catalogs, and that sort of thing. So if you want to join us, the link is in the description somewhere down below. And yeah, I kind of hate to admit that I've been sucked into the world of Animal Crossing, and I didn't even own a Switch before Animal Crossing. I've been wanting one for years and years and years and years, but my husband was always like, "You don't have time to play video games," which is kind of true. I really don't. But I've been finding the time here and there to play a little bit, usually when I wake up, when I'm still in bed, and I'd be on my phone just scrolling. But anyway, and actually, I know that you guys prefer chatty videos, so I might actually tell the story of how I got the Switch during this video, because it was an adventure, let me tell you. So I'm just going to jump straight into it, but before I begin, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to learn how to cover up your eyebrows, I have a whole separate video just dedicated to teaching this, which you can watch by clicking right up here. I'm going to start off with the Mayron Clown White Light for my white base, as always. This is no news to anyone who's been on this channel and has seen me do a white-based makeup. I still haven't figured out how faithful to his character design I'm actually going to do this. I don't know if I want to adapt it a little bit, but I'm going to start out pretty faithful, and then if I want to make any changes or anything, I'll go from there. But I'm just going to white out the center of my face, and I'm just going to take this just a little bit under my bottom lip, but the rest of my chin will be painted brown. And his brown, it's almost like a mustard, actually. It's not even a brown. It's like a weird color for a sloth. You'd think he'd be like gray. You don't have to be super precise with the outer edge. I'm gonna go and clean that up in a little bit. But yeah, getting a Switch during this pandemic was absolutely insane. They've been, as you probably know, sold out everywhere because, one, since everyone's staying indoors, everyone's playing a lot more video games now, and two, Nintendo stopped manufacturing Switches because of COVID-19. I think they didn't want to risk the health of their factory workers and stuff like that, which makes total sense, and I applaud them for that. But yeah, that caused an international Switch shortage. Everywhere it's sold out. You can still find Switch lights, but actual Switches, they're super hard to find. It took me like a solid 2 weeks of going online on the Target website and just refreshing every few minutes. I would check at different times of the day, and Target usually has an option for you to order online and then pick up in the store, but because of everything that's going on, they're kind of limiting the services that they offer, and so they aren't really doing this with the Switch except for a few stores. Few select stores are doing it. So I managed to finally find a store that was doing it, and I did it. I bought my Switch at like 1 in the morning is when they refresh their stock in certain stores, and I was ecstatic. I was gonna go the next day to pick it up from the store, and I needed to do grocery shopping anyway, so it was a win-win situation. I've been totally avoiding leaving the house except for doing grocery shopping. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set this with a big heaping of translucent powder. I'm using the RCMA No Color powder, and I probably should have checked that I didn't have any creases. So anyway, I was ecstatic. I was gonna go the next day. Woke up the next day, was waiting for my notification. They have to get your order ready, so I was waiting for that to happen. And they were saying there's delays, obviously, because of everything. They're kind of overwhelmed. And so the store opens at 8. And usually they have your order done within an hour, but it said that there would be delays, and I was like, okay, probably like 2-3 hours. It was noon by the time I got an email saying, whoops, turns out your product isn't in stock anymore. And what does that mean? It means that the Switch that I paid for, they went and sold to someone else. Because before the store opened, they didn't go through the online orders to see what needed to be removed from the shelves. Now, this is not the fault of the employees or anything. This is something that I've discovered is massively wrong with Target's online system. I've talked to a bunch of staff members at Target and they all agree that the online system is like absolute garbage. When it says things are in stock, they're not in stock. It takes like a full day for changes to be made on the website regarding stock, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's 2020. You think a company that big would have that figured out by now. But anyway, now I'm just gonna go in with a little Q-tip and fix the edges. And I know in my latest video I said I avoid using Q-tips, and yes, that is true. But when I do use them, I make sure it's the kind that has a paper handle. Like what do you call this part of the Q-tip? There's no plastic in the Q-tips I buy. Anyway, going back to Target. So then they gave me two options. Find another store that had it in stock so I could pick it up there. And that's not a thing that exists. All stores are completely sold out. Or I could cancel my order. So I talked to a customer service rep. She was like, yeah, the online system is like garbage. I think I'm actually gonna switch over to a brush just so I can be really precise with my edges and just do some of the cleanup with a Q-tip. So she was gonna help me out. She was like, I'll keep an eye out for it. I'll try to get one shipped, even though that isn't something that they do. But she's like, I'm really sorry for what happened and blah, blah. She was really, really helpful. Oh, and also I only had 5 days to cancel my order. Otherwise they would do it themselves. I decided I was gonna wait to see if that store was going to get a restock or something of that sort. But I kept my eyes peeled for other stores that had it in stock. And so like 2 or 3 days later, another store had it in stock and I switched the pickup option to that store. But again, it was like 1 in the morning. It was as soon as they updated their online systems. And then I was like, okay, you know what? This time I'm gonna go there before the store opens so that I am in line and I can let them know, like, listen, one of the switches on the shelf, my order, I'm here. Let's do the thing. But after, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, at around 2 in the morning, I got a notification saying that my order was ready for pickup. And it would be there when the store opened. So this Target actually had their shit together in regards to online orders, and they did them while the store was closed. I know that some stores only do their online orders after the store has already opened, so I was really happy that that wasn't the case for this one. And that's how I got my Switch after weeks of checking online, doing a bunch of stuff. And you want to know what's worse? Before I knew that they were all sold out, I had one in my cart at Best Buy. It was for pickup and everything, and I just like sat on it for a few days. I was like, maybe, should I? I don't know. And then they like sold out everywhere and I was like, oh, why did I do that? But anyway, I was able to go pick it up and I did like 2 weeks worth of shopping when I went to pick it up. So that was great. And I don't know if I've left the house since. I think I bought enough groceries that day to last us a while. Now that this part is done, I think I'm gonna move on to the eyes. And I don't know if I want to do them like actual stripes or if I want to blend them out a little bit with black eyeshadow, but I'm going to start with the like full-on black stripes. And I'm going to go in with the Suva Beauty Hydra Liner in the color Grease. Come on. And this is a water activated eyeliner. It's basically like face paint. It has a very similar consistency to the Wolf face paints, which are wax based. So I'm going to take that on a little flat synthetic brush and I'm gonna start by mapping out the circles. I think this is gonna be a little bit tough. While I think that the smoked out eye could look cool, I also think that a really like bold and graphic look would also look really striking and cool. So I'm gonna go with a bold graphic look first, and I might just like very slightly blend out the edges. Whew, no breathing to try to make this as precise as humanly possible. I think I'm gonna leave like a little white gap under my eye just so it makes my eyes look even bigger. I'm gonna put white liner in my waterline. I really want to make my eyes seem like huge. So yeah, I got a couple games for my Switch. I got Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is a game I've been wanting for literal years. So I finally got it. And then Animal Crossing, I had actually never played before in my life, but because of all the memes and everyone sharing stuff about the game and everything. I kind of just wanted to feel included. So I bought it and here we are now. But I gotta admit, it's pretty different from what I expected. I don't know. I don't know if I'm like 100% into it. I feel like I'm gonna get there as my island gets better, but like the fact that I had to wait an entire day for like my house to be built and for the museum to open and stuff, like that kind of thing, I'm like, oh, so you get the game and you can't even play it on your first day? Like not properly? That I found a little weird. And like I'm used to games with like quests and side quests and things to do and you know, in this game, all I end up doing is just like fishing and catching bugs. So I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm playing. It's cute, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I regret getting it. I think it can be really relaxing and fun, but I think it's definitely more fun if you have people to play with, like if you can go visit islands and stuff. I feel like if everyone wasn't playing right now, it wouldn't be as fun. So I'm hoping that people keep playing for a good while because that was some investment that I made. But I didn't buy the Switch just for that. I've literally been wanting a Switch for so many years. And I asked for one for Christmas and my husband's like, you don't have time, which is true. Like I have other consoles that are just like sitting there. But I do like that the Switch is portable. I end up using it as a handheld way more than I thought I would because it's easy to just get like 5 or 10 minutes of gaming in before bed or when you wake up. So that's been pretty cool. And being able to hang out virtually with my friends is also pretty cool. But being able to like customize clothes and stuff is really cool. And I actually want to start making like custom designs and I thought about putting them up on Patreon for all my patrons. I want to add like little bonus custom designs for everyone. So if you're interested in that, I'll let you guys know when that's happening. I just have to set some time aside to actually create a bunch of custom designs. You know who I look like right now? The I Like Turtles kid. Anyway, you'll see that it has creased on my eyelids, so I'm just going to fix that up super quick, and then I'm going to set it with some eyeshadow to stop that from happening. And I think I am going to blur out the edges a little bit. I think it's just gonna look better. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Melt Gemini palette and use the color Ronnie. It's just a really, really intense black, and I'm gonna be careful with this because I don't want it getting on my white base. I will die if that happens. So for that not to happen, for me not to get fallout on my face, I like to tilt my head forward. That way whatever falls is just going to fall to my lap and not on my beautiful white base. Just going to do that all over, and you'll see that this mattifies the liner as well. The liner has a tiny bit of a sheen to it, and this helps out with that. I'm going to go in with a smaller brush to get in like the tight little spaces as well. Going in with a teeny tiny pencil brush. This is actually the brush that comes in the little 5-pan palettes by Dose of Colors, and I absolutely love this brush. On one end it's this teeny tiny pencil brush, and on the other is a teeny tiny fluffy brush, which I'm going to use to buff out the edges and creating a very oh no, it's on my base. Fuck me. Fuck. I'm gonna have to fix that with some white eyeshadow. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a lot of white translucent powder and I'm just going to pack it just on my cheeks. This is a great trick if you want to avoid fallout. Just bake under your eyes, and then this way whatever shadow falls on it, you can just wipe it away with the powder later. So I'm just gonna really pack that on. Just powder flying everywhere. And then this way, if I get any sort of fallout, I'll have a much easier cleanup. But I'm still going to avoid having the fallout in the first place. One thing that's really funny about Animal Crossing though is at first I was really pissed off that I had to donate all my animals to the museum without getting anything in return for it. But now the museum is like one of my favorite parts of the game. I mean, my museum still looks like garbage. Like I have barely anything in there because I like just started playing. But I visited my friend's museum that has a ton of specimens, and it is so cool. Like, it just reminds me so much of the Natural History Museum here in LA, and I love that museum. I used to have a membership for it, especially the butterfly area of the museum. It's super like the one here in LA, and I don't know, I just love it. It's really pretty to just take a walk in, a virtual walk anyway. I feel like it's a good quarantine activity, as silly as it may seem. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and do the black stripes down to the sides. And again, I'm going to start with the aqua color, and it curves. It starts at the top here, and then it curves all the way down, kind of close to the cheeks, and then slowly working my way down. I don't want to make this super thick. I want to be careful. I don't want it to like take over my entire face. It's okay if it goes past the edge because I can always clean that up, but I'm avoiding doing that. I'm going to start to thicken it up a little bit. It can definitely stand to get a little bit thicker. That's what she said. Oh man. Every time I saw someone talking about this update on the Discord channel, they were freaking out about bushes, and every time I had to bite my tongue so that I wouldn't be Michael Scott. And speaking of Michael Scott, I just started listening to the Office Ladies podcast, which is like an Office rewatch podcast that's hosted by Pam and Angela from the show. And it's actually pretty cool to listen to. It's very easy listening, just like the show. It's very easy watching. It's fun. I've been enjoying it so far. And if you've never watched The Office, then what are you even doing with your life? Now, I know that there's tons of debates whether the American or the British one is better. A bunch of people love the British version more, and I get it. It's the original. But listen, the American one has Jim and Pam. And Adam gets tired of how many times I've said this to people, but Jim and Pam is maybe one of the best love stories ever written on any form of media. Just saying. Just saying. You can fight me. You will not win. I'm actually going ahead and thickening the bottom end of the stripe so that you can see it more when I look straight forward. Otherwise, you don't really see it. You just see like this little bit and that's it. And I want it to be more visible. So I might actually go past the limit because I feel like you could see that a bit more too. So I'm gonna go and round out that edge, really kind of creating that oval shape, which I probably should have done in the first place. So I'm not going to end it at like a straight line. I'm going to really round it out and thicken the bottom edge. I might even thicken it up a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see. As I said, I don't want it to kind of take over the rest of my face because remember, the blush still has to go here. So don't want to go crazy. I don't want this line to come like all the way to the middle of my cheek. See, like that looks really good when I turn to half profile. Like it feels like a good thickness. That's what she said. This is just gonna be the video of that's what she said jokes. I'm sorry. I don't know why me turning myself into a sloth is the one that's gonna do it, but apparently it is. Okay, so I've gone ahead and blurred the edges of the stripes as well, and I had to tweak the shape of the circles a little bit, but I'm gonna fix the little fallout boo-boos. I'm gonna take the Sugar Pill eyeshadow in Taco. It's this matte white. I'm gonna take that on a pretty dense brush, and I'm just gonna pack that on top of wherever I had some of that black eyeshadow fallout in hopes that this will cover it up. I made sure to sweep off the fallout before doing this, otherwise it would mix in with the fallout and I'd get a gray muddy mess. So make sure you have swiped the fallout off before going in and trying to fix everything. I'm also taking this wherever I want to intensify the white a little bit more, like right here around the edge. This just pumps up the intensity of the white a little bit. So you can really just use this all over. I typically use this after powdering. I go in with a layer of Sugar Pills Taco, but I thought the base looked pretty white to begin with, so I didn't feel the need to do that, but doing that now just out of habit, I guess, and because the fallout kind of gave me no other choice. And I think for the cheeks, I'm going to go in with this Sugar Pill color. I believe it's called Suburbia, and I'm going to start very lightly because it's quite pigmented, but I think this is like the perfect color for Leif's cheeks. Just starting off like that. Just trying to establish like a little round blush spot. Probably gonna go in with a smaller brush so that I can be more precise with the application. But this is actually doing a good job because the brush is almost like the exact size that I want this little cheek to be. So I'm kind of just pressing it down and just taking advantage of the shape of the brush. But I think I'm going to take another one of those little dose of color brushes just to go and be really, really precise and start intensifying that color a little bit more, and always perfecting the shape, making sure it's exactly what I want. I'm making the cheeks a little bigger, just little by little, just very slowly making that circle a little bit wider until I'm happy with the shape and size. Now for the nose, I'm going to go in with the Dose of Colors Baked Browns palette, and this is the new repackaged version. It got a little smudge right here, and I haven't been able to clean it off because it's this kind of like soft touch packaging. So this type of packaging does get dirty kind of quickly in my experience, but these palettes are amazing. I always take their 5-pan palettes when I travel. They're super compact. As you can see, they're tiny, so I can fit a bunch of them in my bag whenever I travel. And this brown one is actually new to me. I had some of their other ones, but I hadn't tried this one, and they sent along the complete collection. So I'm going to be trying this darkest shade today, and I know that these are like super pigmented, so I'm actually going to take the excess off on my hand, and I'm just gonna start at the very tip of my nose, and I'm gonna aim to do like a little circle type of thing, but I think I will be drawing the extended nostrils up here. But first, let's start with establishing the shape of the nose. And again, just going very little by little. I also want this to be kind of diffused, kind of like the cheeks where it's defined, but the edges are still diffused. I might actually have to go in with a smaller brush for this. I might just have to go with, yet again, the brush that comes in with this palette. It's just such a handy brush for detail work. I wish they sold this brush separately because I would buy it in bulk. I'm not even joking. I typically don't like dual-ended brushes because I leave my brushes in a cup, so I don't like having one end sitting at the bottom of a cup. But these brushes are just so good. Like the shape is perfect. It's just great for doing tiny detail work. I'm going to take the other end and just kind of really define where this nose is going to end, taking it under my nostrils, and I will be extending them in a little bit. But I want to make sure that the nose looks nice and cute and round, or round-ish. Okay, I'm actually using the white to help blend this edge, and I'm also packing it on here on the side of my nose where the fallout was, because it wasn't quite covered, but now I feel like it's covered it a bit more. And I'm also going to pack it here on the other side, and what this is doing, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of erasing the shadow of my nose because I'm making the sides of my nose lighter than the middle, and so it's kind of erasing that shadow, and it's making my nose look flat, and it really makes your nose kind of disappear. And there you go. You can barely... Why is my camera shaking? Is there an earthquake happening right now? Now I'm going to go ahead and take the Melt liquid liner in the color Molten. It's their brown liquid liner, and I'm going to use that to extend my nostrils a little bit. I just want to extend them so that you can see when I'm looking straight forward. You can see that little bit of nostril. I might need to go in with a black as well. I think this isn't quite creating the illusion that I want it to, but you kind of get the idea. Now I'm taking the Melt Alchemy liquid liner, which is their black, and I'm just going to darken that right at the very center, and hopefully that'll create a better illusion. Oh yeah, oh that's cute. Now it's time to do the lips, and I'm going in with Sugar Pills liquid lipstick in the color Nurse. And I still don't know what shape I want to go with this, but I'm going to start by really rounding off my lip shape, and then I'm going to go from there, just ignoring my Cupid's bow completely. But I do want to extend the outer corners a little bit and around the mouth as well. Kind of like that, I think, but I might want to make the lip shape a little bit cuter. I want to make like a more girly version of Leif, because we don't actually know Leif's gender. Not that it matters, but I think because I'm going to be putting on a wig and stuff, I want to do, and I kind of want to go big with some lashes. I'm probably going to have to do the drag queen trick where I put my lashes like up top so that you can actually see them. Otherwise you won't be able to see them because of all this black above my lids. Oh, that's cute too, that little bottom lip shape. Okay, so this is the lip shape that I've landed on. I think it's super cute. It's a little more like doll-like. I'm really happy with it. It's also a little bit like clown or mime-like. I don't know if it's just like the white base, but it's giving me like female mime vibes. You know what I'm talking about? They usually draw their lips like really, really tiny and like almost like a 20s lip. Maybe because mimes were a thing of that era, but anyway, now I think I'm going to do all the brown around the face before I move on and modify anything else. I think I might want to make the cheeks a tiny bit like brighter. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to get a little bit creative with this. Wow. I just called making cheeks brighter getting creative. Anyway, on to the brown. His shade of brown, it's more like a Dijon mustard. It's more mustard than it is brown. He's almost like the color of a potato. Like his head looks like a potato. So I think what I'm gonna do a little experimenting. I'm going to go in with my Wolf face paint. I'm taking the 12 color palette. I'm gonna start with the yellow. I'm gonna do a base color of yellow, and then I'm gonna take some brown and mix it in. This is, I guess, a more unconventional way of doing it, but it's kind of impossible to mix these outside of the skin. It takes a lot of effort and I hate doing it. So I'm just going to do a base layer of yellow, and it's gonna look crazy because Leif isn't yellow. I mean, he's almost. I'm gonna do that all around, and I'm gonna get my neck too. I'm not gonna get my ears. I'm gonna try to hide my ears with the wig, but it's always good to paint at least the ear lobes because those usually like to peek out from under wigs. And the thing about water activated face paints that can be frustrating but is often helpful is that when you get them wet, it reactivates them. So I'm just taking a little bit of the brown and then mixing it in with the yellow because it reactivates the yellow, and this brown is actually looking a little too warm. He's more of a cool toned, but this is more the color I want. It's like a potato-y color. Let me try going in. I've never used this color, but it's from the Mimi Choi and Mayron palette, and it's got a layer of creams, a layer of water activated colors, and a layer of eyeshadows. So I'm gonna try the brown in here and see if it's really warm toned. I think it might be. Let's see. Ooh, that's really dark. Let me get my brush wet. If it doesn't mix at first, all you gotta do is get your brush wet and then go back in, and it reactivates all the layers. Oh, I think this is a better color choice. Okay, so let's go with that. There we go. And I might add one more layer because it is, as I said, looking a little warm and I'm still looking a little yellow. So I might go in with a gray. I don't know if that's gonna help or make things worse. So I'm gonna start at my neck and see how it looks. But I'm taking this gray. I just wanna cool this down. It's looking really warm. So I'm just taking this gray and mixing. I think that's more of the color I want. It's what we would call in Brazil, it's the color of a donkey as it's running away. So we have a saying that, you know, those colors that you don't really know what this color is. Like, this isn't yellow, this isn't mustard. It's like a weird color. We say it's the color of a donkey when it runs away. So that's the color I'm trying to achieve. And how you say that in Portuguese is cor de burro quando foge. That's what we're going for today. Oh yeah, this definitely helps the color out a little bit. And I actually want to go in and be really careful doing this edge. I'm gonna take some of the gray on a smaller brush and just do, where'd my mirror go? And just do this little edge, being really precise, cleaning up the shape and blending that out with the bigger brush. Now let's finish up the eye area, and for that I'm going to take the NYX liquid liner in white, and I'm just going to take that under my bottom lash line. I left that little gap there, and if this gets on the lashes, just clean them off. I don't want white lashes, otherwise they will be very visible against this black. I just want to really round out my eye shape. And while I let that dry, I'm going to go in with the Shroud Cosmetics Divinity palette, and I'm going to use the color Aphrodite. Might be a little dark, but let's see. I'm going to use that just to intensify the cheeks a touch more. Yeah, I think that works. It's in the same kind of color family as the other color I used, but just a little bit more intense, a little bit darker perhaps, but I'm gonna pack it just at the very center, just really concentrating it right smack in the middle and slowly diffusing that outwards. I think because the lip is so bold, we can afford to go a little bit more intense with the blush, as if every other thing in this look isn't super bold. You can see already the difference that makes. Yeah, this is exactly what I needed. Now I'm going to take the NYX Jumbo Pencil in the color Milk, and I'm going to apply that onto my waterline. Just really work that into the roots of the lashes so that you can't see that little gap that sometimes happens. Boom, now I've got insanely round and big eyes. And I'm gonna go in with some mascara just to hide my lashes because there's white all over them and I really don't want them to be visible. So just doing a quick coating of mascara. And on the bottom lashes, I'm just coating the ends of the lashes. I don't want to take the mascara to the roots. I want the roots to remain white so that they're hidden in this white area, but I do want to hide the ends of the lashes. So you can see right here, you can see the little lashes. I'm just going to take the mascara on the very ends, and that hides them against the black. And I'm just going to take a black pencil liner. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in Perversion. I'm just going to run that real close to my top lash line to make sure there's no white showing up. Okay, now there's just lashes and that's it. So I'm going to be stacking some lashes so that you can actually see them. I went a little bit too far up with the black, more than I wanted to go. So the lashes, I'm definitely gonna have to do the drag queen thing. I'm going to first add a pair close to my lash line, and this one is the Miss Fury lashes from Rouge and Rogue. And on the bottom lashes, I'm gonna be using Slayer, also by Rouge and Rogue. And these typically are too big for me to even use on my top lash line, but as you can see, they barely show up on the bottom. So for the first top pair, I'm gonna put them close to my lash line, but it doesn't have to sit perfectly on my lash line. I can go a little bit above, which makes it a little bit more comfortable. If you ever wondered how drag queens stack so many lashes, this is typically how they do it. They don't put them directly on the lash line so that it's more comfortable. It's not poking at the inner corners because they wear so much black eyeliner and it's so thick that you can't tell really where the lashes start or stop. It's more about like the silhouette of the lash, if that makes sense. So I've got those on top. Then I can put these on the bottom, and again, I'm not going to put them on my lash line. I'm going to put them under that white line that I created. And then you can just see the lashes just peeking through. Like you can see more of the bottom lashes than the top ones. You can barely tell that I have top lashes on, except for if I turn to the side. And now that I've got these pairs on my eyes, we're gonna go in with the Supreme lashes by Sugar Pill. Now these are straight up drag queen lashes, and I'm gonna place them basically like on my crease, like literally in my crease, not even kidding, so that you can see them just peeking through as well. And that first lash, what it does is it basically creates a transition between my natural lashes and these big top ones. And I've got lashes going up to my eyebrows. If they were here, they're going past my eyebrows if I push them up like this. That's insanity. So I'm gonna go put on my wig and come back to show you the finished look. Ooh, I also have like little fake overalls, and it's gonna be cute, I promise. And this is the finished look. And wait, I even have a little plant. Oh, why am I like this? I don't know. But look, I'm a little gardener sloth. Oh my god, never in a million years would I have guessed that I would be turning myself into a little drag sloth. Luckily, I had this like perfect little plant. The pot is exactly like the one in the game, and it's just so perfect. But yeah, I honestly don't know what came over me to make me want to turn myself into Leif. But here we are. Listen, we're just here to have fun, right? And I've been in such a creative rut that when the idea hit me, I didn't even think about it. I was like, yes, that's it. That's what I'm going for. And honestly, I had a ton of fun doing this. I think this was the best thing I could have done because this is just like no pressure and just something super silly and super fun to do. I didn't think I was gonna have this much fun making this week's video. I was supposed to film something with Adam, but his ankle got worse, so we weren't able to film. We will eventually soon, hopefully, and that's gonna be a really good video. It may or may not also involve drag. Hint, hint. But yeah, oh my god, I'm just I wanna be a little gardener now. I actually do want to take gardening lessons because I have the opposite of a green thumb. I'm not the one who takes care of these plants. It's my husband. It's Adam. He's the one that does all of it because when I try to take care of them, they die. And I love plants and I want to stop killing them. And so I genuinely do want to take a gardening class. If you guys have any like recommendations, if there's even like an online class, I don't know, but I feel like gardening, you have to literally get your hands dirty. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just gonna hug this little plant. And I know that my hands don't match my face, but it's fine. Ah. I can't stop looking at myself in the monitor. Oh my god, I feel super cute. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Ah. Wait, no, yes I do. If you want to see me do any more Animal Crossing looks, if you want to see me do the villagers or other characters from the game, please let me know down below. I might just do looks inspired by them, not necessarily a full-on recreation like this one, but if you guys want to see more of this, I can do this too. I definitely want to try my hand at other characters, maybe, if you guys are into it. And I should be looking at the camera, not at the monitor. But yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. And thank you so much to all my patrons who support me, and I will see you next time. Bye!